So this is something we got installed the other day and I'm super impressed. We used to have this roll-up thing to get the door up and down and it's been a pain. Woo! And that is a good morning workout. Now we've got a simple up and down button, stop and lock, super easy to use. There's the motor, it's got a nice battery backup and we can still operate it during load shedding, which is obviously the most important in this scenario. So yeah, at least that's another thing done in the shop and things are making progress. Quite happy with that. Speaking of progress, let me show you this. Here we have a selection of 370Z parts. So you will see my subframe, differential, rear and front brakes, and all the arms and everything is here. And the most important, my BC coilovers. We're still waiting for the rear toe arms, unfortunately. Customs has just been a massive mess and delay this time around. But we've got enough that we can now start assembling. And I want to get the car off the lift. We've got other projects and work that also need to get done. So the car can't live on the lift for much longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling what we can. And the moment we've got those rear toe arms, we get them in and go do an alignment and start testing everything from there. So yeah, let's get to it. Hopefully it all goes smoothly.
So, what I'm going to start with first today is the subframe, then the diff. And there sits the subframe. So I'm going to be using the gearbox jack now to install the diff because it makes my life a lot easier and it speeds up stuff. So, okay. Whew. Okay, this will probably work. It's fairly heavy. The Z's have fairly big diffs at the back. But it's nice, that means they can take some power. Only the two front bushes was redone with polyurethane by Andre's Rubber Supplies. Here comes the not so fun part. The part where you have to balance the diff and get the rear bolt in the hole. There we go. Okay, just stay there, please. This was the rear diff one that was torn. While we were pulling away, we used to feel a little bit of a wiggle at the back. Okay, so what I'm going to be installing is the other arms. And for future reference on your own car, remember just to put maybe a little bit grease, or even better if you have rubber grease, that will also work. Just to stop it from squeaking, because these rubbers are known after a while with dust and dirt and all that stuff to start to squeak like hell. Okay, that should do it. Okay,
what's next?
At center hub assembly.
Okay. And then after that coilover, then the disc. Well, your nuts and bolts, buddy. Sounds like someone's crashing. Clear everything. That makes life so much simpler. Just to lift up the bottom piece or the tub where the toe arms are supposed to go, and we got the bottom bolt in. The rest should go relatively quick now that we know how to do it. That is so nice. I've been wanting this for a while. It's like awesome to see it finally in. You could probably do this in a garage on a jack and some jack stands. So bearings still feel very good, so we're not replacing these, but we did replace all of the rubbers. Everywhere you will see new rubbers. The car's got about 150,000 kilometers on it, and just knowing that everything is fresh, it should feel like a brand new car in my opinion. Plus now the stiffer suspension. So yeah, let's get the rest in, let's get it done. I want to get the car on the road. I really like how BC packages the lock nut with a cable tie so you don't lose it. But let's get the other rear one in. Let me just get the gasket in, just helps for a bit of dust. And we're not going to fully tighten it until we get that bottom bolt in. Let's just lube it up. So Wooly, I just put a bit on the rubber, right?
Yes.
Avoid the squeaky sounds.
Yes.
And now to get this bolt in, I'm just using the gearbox jack to line up the holes. Thing's a bit sensitive, but getting the hang of it. Straight through to the other side, one shot. And use the gun and shoot it. And she's through. So that's basically the rear. Now we can start reassembling the handbrake and all of that stuff, and then put the brake discs back on. Then the calipers, and then probably bleed the brakes because I want to change the fluid in the car. It's been a mixed match of like cheap fluid that I've just been topping up, and I would like to just drain out the entire system, all the lines, and replace that. The car's getting a lot of TLC right now because I'm planning on doing some track use with it. So yeah. Give it what it needs because I am hard on cars and I want to get the maximum potential out of it. So it's fun getting these things done. Now that the rear's done, we can switch over to the front, and soon the car should be back on the ground. Let's go. We still need to get rid of all of that blue, Volley.
Yes.
Starting to annoy me. So the story behind that, the car was originally blue when I bought it, and I decided to respray the car in a color I like, and green was definitely it. Company called Titan Customs did the spray work, and they quoted and charged me for a blowover. They did an awesome job on the paint, but I have to say I regret not spraying everything. Once I'm happy with the setup, or maybe when it becomes a full-time track car, then we'll strip everything out again and then spray the whole chassis. Even if we do the underside of the chassis with maybe like a rubberizing or like a steeled grey. I wouldn't mind the engine bay being like a nice gunmetal grey or something. And the grey is just so that you can see if there's any leaks or fluids or whatever. Just makes it easier. If it's black, you don't necessarily spot everything. So, yeah. But it looks like Volley's almost done with the upper control arm. Oh, those bushes look nice and stiff. And no squeaking sounds. That's a good sign. Cool, so this is the last coilover, and that would mean we've installed all 4 in one day. And then we're probably gonna call it a day from there and come back to the rest tomorrow or another day. I think we did quite a lot actually. Good progress. Probably another day's work and she'll be back on the ground. Then it's off to alignment, make sure everything is properly aligned. And then it's time for some testing and have some fun with it. That's it. See you next time.